Hi friends! In this short video, I will show you a pretty good strategy that I found and tested, and I will also try to conduct a full trading session using this strategy to make as much profit as possible during this short video. So, I will start by adding all the necessary indicators. Today, I will be using 4 indicators. The first indicator I will add is called Super Trend. I go to the settings of this indicator, and here I set the period to 9 and the multiplier to 2.5. After that, I don't change anything in style and move on to setting up the next indicator. The second indicator I will use today is called SAR. I also add it to the chart. I go to the settings of this indicator, and here I set the first parameter to 0.02 and the second parameter to 0.2. Then I go to Styles, and here I recolor this indicator, make it a bit thicker just for my convenience in working with it. So, what style I will use is not that fundamentally important. The main thing is that I use the standard settings for this indicator. The next indicator, which I will use today, is called the RSI. I add it to the chart and go to the settings of this indicator. I set the period to 21. Then I move to the style, change the color, and make the main line a bit thicker. After that, I disable the middle line and set the upper limit to 80. I am repainting the line of this boundary white and making it slightly thicker. I set the lower boundary to the value of 20. I also repaint this line white and make it slightly thicker. Then I press the Save button. And my RSI indicator starts to look like this. The last indicator I will use today is the Awesome Oscillator. I add it to the chart, then go to the settings of this indicator, and here I set the short period to 7 and the long period to 38. In style, I don't change anything and just press the Save button. I have added all the necessary indicators. Today I will be opening 1-minute trades, so it's very important for me to set up the chart to get accurate signals specifically for 1 minute. So, what chart settings will I be using today? I use a candlestick chart type and set the candlestick time frame to 15 seconds. With this setup, I'm all set to start opening my trades. I'll also set it to 1 minute for trade openings right away. Today, to open my trades, I'll use an amount of $340. My workspace is fully configured. I can now slowly start explaining the strategy and opening my first trades. But before that, a quick reminder that in the pinned comment, I've left a link to this platform where I'm currently working. After a quick 2-minute registration on this platform, a demo account becomes available, where you can test this strategy and any other completely free without any investment. Alright, now I'm going to look for an appropriate market situation and open my first trade today. So, here's the first situation I found where I could enter an uptrade. And now I have opened the chart on the OTC currency pair. In general, with this strategy, I can work on absolutely any chart. Now about how I entered into an uptrade. So first of all, as soon as I open the chart, I look at the super trend indicator. And, for example, there is currently a buy signal active on the chart. I see that the super trend has given a buy signal, after which a green line is drawn. And accordingly, the buy signal is still active. At this moment, I consider whether I can enter an uptrade. Then I must get confirmation from the SAR indicator. To enter an uptrade, I need the SAR indicator to be placing its dots below the chart right now, and this condition was met. Then I look at the oscillator, and to make an uptrade, I need there to be at least 3 green bars on the chart, and preferably for them to be above the 0 mark. So here it is, this 0 mark. And at the moment of entering the trade, the bars were indeed above this 0 mark. And at least 3 bars were green. And the last indicator I check is the Relative Strength Index. In order to enter an uptrade, the value needs to be below this upper line, that is, below 80. If all these signals match, then I enter an uptrade. And so I've already opened my first trade for today, and it closed in profit. Now I'll try to find some suitable setup to enter a down trade and show how I enter down trades. So I found a good moment to enter a down trade. What do I see on the chart now? So right now there is an active sell signal on the chart from the super trend indicator, which means I can open down trades. Then I get the second confirmation from the SAR indicator. And now, to enter down trades, I need the SAR indicator to show its dots above the chart. Basically, this is exactly what's happening. The following condition for the oscillator. In order to enter a down trade, at least the last 3 bars need to be red. This condition was also met. Ideally, these bars should be below the 0 mark. Here is the 0 mark, and I see that the last bars were indeed appearing below the 0 mark. This is also a good sign that I can now enter into down trades. Then I looked at the RSI indicator, and the final confirmation I get is from the RSI indicator. In order to enter into down trades, I need to ensure that at the moment of entering the trade, I am not in the oversold zone. This means it is important that the RSI is above the level of 20, which I have marked here on the indicator. All 3 of these conditions were met, so I entered a down trade, and this trade successfully ends in profit. Now I will continue my trading session. So, while switching between different charts, I found this market situation where I'm entering an uptrade. So, what do I see on the chart? The last signal from the super trend indicator was to buy. The SAR indicator itself plots its dots below the chart. Also, on the oscillator, there were several bars, at least 3, that were green at the time of entering the trade, and these bars appeared above the 0 mark. Also, according to the RSI indicator, I was below the overbought zone, so I opened this trade. Now, in fast forward, I'll see how this trade will close. So, my next trade has closed, and it closes in profit. On this chart, I am just recording pure profit. On this chart, I am entering a down trade. So, what do I see by indicators? The supertrend indicator is giving a sell signal. The SAR indicator dots appear above the chart. The oscillator has at least 3 red bars, and now these bars have started to appear below the 0 mark. Also, according to the RSI indicator, I am not in the oversold zone. Meanwhile, while waiting for this trade to complete, I'll share a few words about my balance distribution. I remind you that I enter trades for an amount that does not exceed 1% of my balance, which is why I open trades for $340. And now I will just observe this trade. So, there are a few seconds left. The price has fallen quite a bit, and this trade is closing successfully in profit as well. Continuing my trading session, I found a good moment to enter an up trade. I think the strategy is clear in itself, so I'll just continue making trades without repeating myself. I believe the signals that appear with this strategy are quite clear. I just compare a few indicators, and based on all this information, I enter a trade. So, there are just under 10 seconds left until the trade closes. It looks like this trade will end in the red for me, and accordingly, I will be opening the next trade with doubling. That's exactly why I use an amount that does not exceed 1% of my balance, so that in the event that my trades close in the negative, I can cover with doubling. So, now I will be looking for another opportunity to enter the next trade. So, I'm entering a trade for $680 already. So, what do I see according to the indicators? A good situation to enter an up trade. I opened the trade during a small local correction, so if the upward movement continues now, I will easily be able to make a net profit from this trade. Consequently, I will recover the loss from the previous trade and make a little extra on top, after which I will return to the original trade amount I used, namely $340. So, I am watching this trade, which I opened as an up trade. So, a few seconds before the trade closes, and it ends up being a profit for me. I easily recovered the loss from the previous trade, and now I will open the next trade again with $340. So, I found a good moment to enter a down trade. And now, let's see how this trade will close for me. So, just a few seconds remain until the trade is closed. The price continued to fall, and here I secured a net profit. It's actually quite a good chart, as it shows such a prolonged downward movement. But since I try to demonstrate various market situations, I will now look for another situation where I can enter a trade using this strategy. Currency pair Euro and British Pound. Here I enter a down trade and watch it. According to the indicators, it's quite a good situation to enter a down trade. So unfortunately, this trade is closing at a loss for me, so I'll have to open the next trade with double the amount. I think that if the next trade ends in profit and I recover all losses, I will gradually wrap up my trading session. It seems like I've managed to earn quite a bit. So I found what seems to be a good chart to place an up trade here. I'm entering with $680 and just watching this trade. If it closes in the positive, I will slowly end the trading session for today. So there are just under 5 seconds left until the trade closes, and it seems like it will also end in a loss. Therefore, I will have to open another trade again with a doubled amount, and after that, I hope to end my trading session for today. So here I enter a down trade. I've already opened a trade for $1,360. According to the indicators, it's a quite good situation to open this down trade. And basically, it is now clearly visible why I use such a modest amount to open my first trade, namely an amount that does not exceed 1% of my balance. See, I had 2 consecutive trades that closed with a loss. Now I am opening my third trade already, and thanks to the fact that I initially use a very small percentage of my balance to open the very first trade, I have a lot of attempts to double. Therefore, I am calmly opening my third trade with doubling. If it closes at a loss, I will double again. Well, if this trade closes in profit, I'll just secure the net gain. So there are just under 15 seconds left. So my trade closes in profit. I secure net profit, cover all losses, and with that, I will finish my video. That's the strategy. I hope the video was useful and interesting for you. I hope you found something new for yourself. If that's the case, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Since I don't have any private Telegram channels or paid courses, all I have is this YouTube channel where I freely showcase various strategies that I personally use. Therefore, the best way to thank me is through your engagement, like likes and subscriptions to my channel. I also remind you that on my channel, all I do is share my personal experience. I am not giving financial advice. With that, I will say goodbye. I wish you good luck.